could reach country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama. Hi everyone. Does What Home Is, a story out of Rural Voices, show what rural life is to someone who has had personal experience from living and growing up in a rural life? Before I read this quote, I just want to share that I'm going to be explaining my personal opinions and personal background to how the story related to me. And What Home is the one story that I read out of the four that we had to read that really just stuck out to me and really related to me. And I also feel like there's a lot of things in this book that would relate to students around the area that I'm in. But the first quote is, "Home is your crib, the trunnel bed where your older brother sleeps." So I have an older brother that's 4 years older than me. And when we were growing up and we were really young, we had bunk beds. And when they talked about the bed, I was like, that reminded me so much of him. And we also are very close. So just having a brother that was always there and always really close, and we still are super close, just really shows that rural life. Home is flash floods on the one bridge to the next town. In this picture, you can see my dad from one of our floods that we had in 2011. And just a few years ago, we had another flood that actually was across the bridge that led into the next town. I couldn't find the picture of that, but I have had experience living in rural life with flash floods that go into the next town. Vacation Bible School, the Jesus fish on car bumpers. I didn't have a picture to go with this, but me and my cousins used to go every year to Vacational Bible School. And the church I go to now does not have Vacational Bible School, but I did find a few around where I live that do still have it. But it is a really fun thing, and religion's still a big part of my life. Home is where your family doctor is also your Sunday school teacher, and the librarian is your dad's client. So for me, the first thing that came to my mind when I read this was every coach I ever had was also one of my school teachers. I played football while I was in high school, and in the picture with our team, you can see the guy standing in the middle was also my 8th grade social studies teacher, but he was also one of my football coaches. And many of my other coaches as well, growing up, softball, volleyball, they were all teachers. Home is being in a class with the same 30 kids from first grade to senior year. In these pictures, you can see my graduating class and some of my best friends during high school. I put this quote on here because you do have the same 30 friends or however many friends you have, and when you have such a small class, there was probably like 90 people that graduated with me, but it just builds this community, and you see this in somewhere like when you live in a rural life place in a small school district, you get a community. And I don't talk to the people I graduated with every day. Most of us probably don't, but I still have those friendships and those connections with their families, and it's just a part of a community. Home is prom, which still happens. This was from my senior prom, but prom and homecoming was always my favorite because I got to dress up with my friends. And a lot of times you see kids, especially here in Chillicothe, you see them going to the downtown and to the courthouse. Most of these pictures were taken in downtown Chillicothe. And it's again that community, and you have those same friends and those people that you can share, that you get to share these memories with, and it's memories that last a lifetime. This was probably one of my favorite slides that I got to add. Home is years of animals. So I put my animals that I have right now. The dogs that are in the first picture, that's Waylon and Wilson. They're Beagle and Jack Russell mixed. The second picture, the black and white cat, her name's Betty, and the calico cat is Bella. And then I also have 19 chickens. So they keep me pretty busy. But when I was growing up, we had our family dogs and our family cats. My mom and dad still have two of their dogs that I had when I was growing up. That I think they're 15 now. Their dogs are, and I just remember having those pets, and it was something that I knew when I grew up that I was going to have my own pets and have my own little pet family. And we also had goats and a horse for a while, and I also took chickens to the fair when I was in high school. This was a quote that really hit hard for me the last days of hospice. So, on this picture, you can see this is my grandma from my dad's side, and then the guy is my grandpa on my mom's side. I lost my grandparents 6 months apart, so that was really hard for me and my family. And being in such a small place and such a rural and having that rural life, I had that community surrounding me though when that happened, and just the people there for me. This quote really stuck out though because both of them was put on hospice this happened when I was in high school, so that made it even harder. Not even being an adult yet and having to deal with that. Home is all that you think is the world, but will turn out to just be a small place. Home is you. Home is always you. Home is a small place. Where I live's a small place, but it's it's where I'm from. It's where I grew up. I literally live in the house right next to my parents. And it's something that I never change about myself. I think there's a lot of bias surrounding rural life, especially when you've never experienced that or you move away and you have a better experience. And I think it's something that Ashley does kind of do in this story, but she also has great quotes like the ones I've showed all the way through this that really do show what rural life is. And everyone has different opinions. This is my opinion on it. It's somewhere I'll never leave, like I said. But I get that there are people that move away and have great lives outside of their rural lives. But for me and this project in particular, this was a great project for me. I got to share my opinion. I got to share some of my family's background and my background of my own. Dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye, country road, take me home.